Starting.
Yes.
Dun dun dun! It is official, and now we have 4 views, 4 viewers.
Okay. Very cool. Well, it's 6:29, so we will give it a minute or two. Let people get on.
All right, I'm gonna try something. Can you read this?
Shows one new message from you in my box.
You see it?
uh, no, it just said one new message.
Oh, but it doesn't actually say what the message is.
No.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah. All right, 6:30. It's
It
about
is.
time.
Yes, it is.
About time to get this party started.
Well, David, I'll let you lead the way in this party.
All right, cool. Well, I want to be very respectful of everyone's time, everyone who took their time out to come and spend an hour with us, or however long we're going to be doing this thing. Should be about 45 minutes or so, and then we'll do some Q&A. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a lot of fun. This topic, I know for Christian and I both, is very near and dear to us because we see people just struggling all the time. Whether that's internally or externally, and so we want to get to the root of that and try to help people really figure out what's going on and try to help you figure out what's going on and move forward with your life, with your business, be successful, be content, and have some tools to work with along the way. So, a little
Tools that
intro
you
here.
use.
What's that?
Tools that you use.
Tools that you use, exactly. Yeah. So, this webinar is for you if you feel like you're blocked and you're not able to really fully blossom. You have something inside of yourself that you know that you want to share, that you know the world needs, but there's something internally that's just stopping you from being able to share that to its full potential, or you've tried many times and it's just keeps getting kind of put down. Maybe you're feeling like put down, or you're not feeling supported, and you're just not getting that traction that you want. It could also be for you if you're feeling overwhelmed. You just don't know where to get started with your business or with your project, whatever that is. You have a million ideas, but you don't know which ones to choose, and you don't know where to get started. And then lastly, this is for you also if it could be from either of those things, but it feels like you're treading water. It just feels like you're not moving forward in your business or in your life, and you're not getting any traction. You might be trying all kinds of things, just throwing ideas up against the wall, seeing what sticks. But in my experience, when you're just constantly trying new things and you're not really rooting into anything, then you're not going to gain any traction. So that's who we want to help out tonight.
Absolutely. So on this session, you're going to learn a few things. So number one, you're going to learn to remove fear and blockages. And like David was saying, people have these overwhelmed feelings of not knowing what to do and where to go, and there's a million different directions, and nobody chooses one thing to follow through on. So a lot of that has to do with fear and the blockages within you internally. Most of what we're going to be talking about tonight has nothing to do with the external environment, because everyone's external environment is different. You can't control the external environment. The only thing that you can control 100% of the time, are your thoughts and emotions. Okay? Number two is aligning the mind and energy with abundance and prosperity, because it's kind of hard to build a holistic business and touch the lives of hundreds, thousands, even millions of people if you were having a bunch of hang up around money with poverty consciousness, the inability to ask for the sale, the inability to have an exchange. And I hate to break it to a lot of holistic practitioners, but you cannot pay your mortgage by trading with people. You have a skill that is valuable to others, and you can't just keep trading back and forth. Right, David?
That is for sure. No
Yes,
doubt about that.
no doubt. So you can't pay the mortgage with trades unless the person you're trading with happens to be your bank. So number 3 is fully be you in your business and grow your lifestyle. So we're just going to give you some tips towards the end of the talk on not just growing your business, but as you grow yourself, because your business is you. If you're a life coach, if you're an energy healer, if you're some kind of therapist, chiropractor, acupuncturist, herbalist, you are your product. So the more powerful that you can be, the better the channel that you can be, the more lives you're going to impact. So really, it's about taking care of you. So we'll get to that towards the end.
Nice, yeah. And we have a special treat for everyone who sticks around. I have after the presentation webinar is over, I'm going to give you an opportunity to get a free process map that is all about you stepping into your brilliance, and it's basically an overview of what the process is. It's a PDF that I created. It's an overview of the process of how you can become the local expert in your field, or basically the local celebrity. So how you can take your genius out there into the world. So stick around for details on how to get that.
Love it. Great value add, David. Nice plug. Love it. So, all right, does this sound familiar to you guys? All right, you feel paralyzed with fear. You feel overwhelmed. You feel small, insignificant, tiny, like you're the dust off of somebody's boot. And you don't need a hill of beans, right? We've all come to that at certain times in our life that we have something inside of us, but we don't know how to share it with people. Okay, so I'm sure that sounds familiar. Okay, especially the people that are on this call. Or you're thinking that you're not good enough, or you're not an expert, or you have nothing to offer the world. I remember hearing one time somebody said an expert is someone that knows just a little bit more than the average person. So if you have an inkling towards some practice, whether it's being a life coach, whether it's being, one of the people I believe on the call today is going to be opening up his own yerba mate tea company in Denver, which is super cool. And I bet you he knows more than the average person, so that makes him an expert in his field. So if he feels, well, I need to get more knowledge, I don't have enough knowledge, no, he has just enough knowledge above the average person to offer value and to offer a great product. So that's something I just want to throw out there as well. Maybe you're broke, right? Not just broke, but broken, right? So you have this idea, you have this vision for a business or for a lifestyle that you'd like to create, helping a bunch of people, and you're flat broke, busted. You got no money in the bank account. Okay, we're going to be covering a little bit about that as well, with the mindset that you might be holding on to that's keeping you broke, and the energy aspect of the underlying what's going on within the chakra system that we'll talk about. So back to you, David.
All right. Thank you, Christian. Love this technology, back and forth. It's great. So I have one big question that I want everyone to remember. The one big question is, are you surviving or are you thriving? Keep that in mind. I know when I first say that question, you have something that hits you right in the gut, whether you know whether you're surviving or if you're thriving.
Bam!
Yeah, I don't need to go into details on that one. It speaks for itself. So keep that in mind. Back to you, sir.
So all of those are symptoms. Everything that we just covered, the fear, the overwhelm, feeling small, not having enough money, feeling broken inside, not being worthy enough, all those things. If you're surviving or thriving, all of those are the symptoms, right? The real problem is that you're energetically blocked, and that your thinking and viewpoint and perspective on things needs to be critiqued a little bit, needs to be changed a little bit. So that's what we're going to be helping you with today. So just remember this one thing. Like, this is your takeaway from the entire 45 or so minute webinar that we're doing tonight, is that all of this deals with internal work. If you fix the inside, if you fix the unseen that's going on in you and through you, your life will improve. Your business will improve. Your relationships will improve. Your health will improve. It's not about blaming externals. It's not about your boss sucks and the reason you can't start your own business is because of that. It's not because you had a bunch of clients that said they're going to work with you and then all of a sudden they backed out last minute. It's not about your spouse keeping you down or your children are running you ragged and you don't have enough energy to live your purpose and to share your genius and to share your gift with people. It all has to do with the inner aspect that we're going to be working on tonight. Fair?
Yes, that sounds amazing.
Good.
And how cool will it be when you get this? How cool will it be to live your dream lifestyle, to do what you love and earn a living from it, a real living, even a better living that you could at any job you've ever had before, making the money that you deserve, not just week-to-week, month-to-month paycheck. So how awesome will that feel to wake up in the morning, have the energy to, just jump out of bed, wake up excited to do what you love, have the business of your dreams, or basically just your ideal lifestyle. How cool would that be? I know there's so many people who are on this call right now, or this webinar, or this video chat, that are looking for that. They've been trying to find that for a long time, and they want to share their gifts with the world, but they're being held back. So how cool will that be? And I know Christian has a really cool story about himself, how he got into this work, and I'd love to hear about that.
Thanks, David. Yeah, it's somewhat of an embarrassing story. I can make it very long, but because we have just a short time, I'll make the highlights. So basically, in a nutshell, I've been on the spiritual path for about 15 years. I started in 1999. So over that time, I've dedicated over 2,500 hours to meditation and healing retreats. I've spent over $40,000 in personal and spiritual development courses, workshops, classes, coaching. I've had the opportunity to train with some of the best healers in the world within the United States and abroad. And basically, after doing all of this stuff, reading hundreds of books on personal development, spirituality, I came to a realization that I didn't know a whole lot, and I was feeling really unfulfilled, especially on an emotional level. Like, mentally, I had more knowledge than anyone that I knew about this world of personal development and spirituality. And I actually moved out to Denver about a year ago from New York City. And in that time, I was traveling the country with a friend of mine, doing some work with him, and we ended up hitting Denver for 2 weeks, fell in love with the area, and I said, you know what, this is the next chapter of my life. This is what I want to do, and I want to have a full-time pranic healing business, full-time practice. Now, I've been doing pranic healing, or energy healing, for the past 10 years, and basically the definition of pranic healing is a comprehensive no-touch system of energy healing that utilizes prana, or energy, to accelerate the body's natural ability to heal itself. So I've been doing that for 10 years successfully, produced some pretty miraculous results with the people that I had been working with, but I never fully threw myself into it. So traveling the country, finding Denver, and choosing to move out here a little over a year ago and get serious about this thing, and get serious about my passion and my purpose as to why I'm here on this planet, I still, as David was saying, was not able to get any traction. I still was not able to anchor myself into doing what it took to be successful in a healing practice, to be successful in healing people on a regular basis. Is obviously that's what it requires. So through a lot of introspection, a lot of asking myself questions, a lot of why, going to mentors of mine who are other pranic healers that are very successful in their own practices, I was getting closer and closer to that insight until one day an acquaintance, somebody that I'm not super close with, that I wouldn't say is a friend. I wouldn't say I resonate with him. I wouldn't say I would go out to a club or a restaurant and have lunch with him. But just through karma or through paths crossing or whatever you want to call it, him and I had a very candid conversation one day, and he says, "Look, dude, I've been to your blog, I've watched all your videos, I've read all of your articles, and you have so much stuff in your head. You have so much value to offer people. But, dude, you're wasting your time sitting behind your computer and just creating this content. You need to be out there in Denver interacting with people, going out, meeting people, shaking hands, and having people feel you and experiencing you live, not behind a computer." And since he told me that, my business has transformed, because something I had been beating myself up about for years and years and years as a spiritual practitioner, as an energy worker, was related to finances. That I'm not good enough to earn this amount of money for healing. I need to know this much more, this much more, this much more in order to be effective healing people and helping people. And I always thought it was connected to my basic chakra, which is at the base of the spine, which we'll talk about a little bit more in the webinar. But I realized it had not so much to do with my basic chakra, but had more to do with my solar plexus chakra, which deals with stress, which deals with feelings of being overwhelmed, with self-doubt, with self-sabotage. So for many, many years, I was not working on that center and taking care of that center. And then with that interaction with that person, there was like almost a miraculous healing that occurred, because he was very, very good in the world of making money, and he was very good in being purposeful and moving through resistance and overcoming obstacles and overcoming overwhelmed feelings, that he was able to in some way transfer that energy to me. And ever since then, it's like, boom, more clients than ever, more healings than ever. A lot of opportunities have been presented in the world of media to present pranic healing to a wider audience. But in a nutshell, my purpose is to spread pranic healing, to spread Arhatic yoga, and to heal the world one person at a time. So that's a little bit about my background, and the opportunity to work with David came up about a little over a month ago. And I was like, oh my God, another guy that's on the same path, another guy that's just as motivated, just as dedicated, and just as committed to helping other people move their lives forward through correcting their mindset. And I'm super grateful and super appreciative to even know this guy. So I want you, David, to share a little bit about your background.
Awesome. Thanks, Christian. That was really inspiring. We have a similar story, but everyone has their own story to tell. Currently I'm a business coach for holistic health practitioners. I'm the CEO of Achieve Therapy Systems, Peak Medical Massage, and I also have my own private coaching practice, both in Denver and online. I'm the business teacher at the Nutrition Therapy Institute, and I have an upcoming book that's coming out in a couple of months called Fill Your Client Base in 90 Days. Super psyched about that. And my story, how I got into this, how did I get into being a business coach specifically for health practitioners and holistic healers? Well, my background is in massage therapy and yoga and meditation. About 10 years ago, I was trying to figure out what to do with my life, probably 10 or 11 years ago now, and went to a meditation group, asked, basically the universe, what am I supposed to be doing with my life? The answer I got back was, you're supposed to help people. And so I immediately enrolled in massage therapy school. About a year later, I was done with that, and I was on my way. And I started a practice in Arizona at that time, and it was kind of challenging. I didn't have the inner calibrated awareness, and I didn't have the abundance mentality that I do now. And it was really challenging. I kind of gave up on it because it was just such hard work, and the clients weren't just coming in when I printed out a few business cards and handed them out to people like they told us in school. They said in school you make a business card and brochures. That was about the extent of the business training that I got. And so I did all that, and it was challenging. So kind of gave up on that, as a business, and went back to school. I moved up to Boulder, Colorado, and went back to school for a couple of years, got my bachelor's, and after that, I decided, I want to go back into this massage thing. So I opened a practice up here in Denver and came across the same problem again. I was married at that time, and literally, I was working three jobs, and one of those being, the business that I was trying to start. But I was teaching in an elementary school. I was delivering pizzas, and I had a massage practice that I was trying to get off the ground. So after about a year of that and just struggling, you know, as far down as just being broke, being totally broke, getting overdraft fees from the bank, always checking, my bank account to see if I had any money in it. Eventually, the stress and the overwhelm of that led to me getting divorced. So I was just bottom of the barrel. Life was pretty rough. And I came to a decision. I had a choice. I was at a point. I had started this practice. It had been about a year into it. Wasn't successful yet, and I had a choice to. In my mind, I was going to let it go, or I was going to make it work. And I decided, I made that decision that I was going to make it work. So what did I do? Um, at that point, I hired not just one, but three different business coaches in different areas with different skill sets. I had always been terrified of public speaking, so I decided that I was going to jump into public speaking, learn how to do that. So I had a coach for that. And I didn't have any money at that time, but I just put this stuff on my credit card and ran with it. I hired one coach for $1,400 that I didn't have, put it on my credit card, and just started going. And along with a lot of the internet marketing background that I had from studying in the evenings over the years while I was teaching and just trying to figure out business, and a lot of the business seminars that I was going to, I was able to fill my practice in about 6 months. And when that happened, I would start having friends and colleagues asking me, how are you doing this? Other massage therapists, other energy healers, yogis, a lot of yoga teachers in Denver, and they can't make any money. It's just a very common theme. I was seeing a lot of healers are struggling financially. So it just kind of hit me, wow, I know a ton. People are always asking me what to do, and I'm always talking forever about it, and I'm kind of overwhelming them. So I need to get this information down, and I need to share it with people. I need to help others to do this. So that is when my coaching business was born. And since then, I've been helping healers all over, not just in Denver, but all over via Skype and video. I work with chiropractors, acupuncturists, massage people, psychotherapists, coaches of all kinds, life coaches, and the results have been amazing. And I have so much gratitude for my clients and just for being able to live this amazing life and do what I love. Helping people break through the barriers of feeling small, some things that we're going to talk about in a second here, feeling like you can't do it, and then just breaking out and putting yourself out there and being that amazing genius in the world that you came here to be. So that's just a little bit about me, and yeah, I'm excited to be here and excited to share this message with everyone.
And what an important message it is, baby. Love it. Love it. Excellent. Excellent. Thank you, David, for sharing that. So is what you're doing right now working for you? Ask yourself, is what you're doing every single morning, every single afternoon, and every single evening, Monday through Friday or Monday through Monday, is it working for you? Is it getting you to where you want to be? If not, there is a better way. And we're going to talk about that better way right now.
Nice. Yeah. So, how do we do this stuff? How do we get our gifts out there? That's what it's all about, right? How do we go through fear and feeling stuck? How do we work with that? Well, my first piece of advice for you is to tap into your core, your true self. Who is that? Who is it that's truly offering your service? Is it all of these belief systems that you've been enculturated to believe? Is it what your parents told you? Is it what your friends believe you're doing? where does the fear come from? I know this from personal experience, so I can just speak completely from my experience, that fear is a real thing, but it's also not real at all. You know, when you feel it, it's obviously a very felt sense, and it can stop you dead in your tracks. But ask yourself this question: Is this a something? Is this something that I need to be afraid of, or is it just a sensation? Now, when I was terrified of public speaking, which was my whole life, up to just 3 4 years ago, I did not know how to work with those sensations, that sweaty palms, dry mouth, all those things. And I read this book by this master public speaker, and he said 90% of the physical sensations in your body when you have fear is the same exact sensations as when you're excited. And so mentally, literally, you can just shift from a mindset of fear into a mindset of excitement, and it shifts the whole way you perceive the situation. So that's one tip. Another tip that I have is literally just get out of your box, step out of the safety zone, and try new things on a regular basis. So for me, public speaking was one of those things, and I started doing it all over the place. And it's going to be really uncomfortable. It's going to maybe even feel painful sometimes. But that's where the self-care comes in. We'll talk more about that later. But I'm not telling you to just be a martyr for yourself and just jump out there and kill yourself. But push yourself outside of your comfort zone, because as a holistic person, as a healer, business owner in this field, I know that you are interested in personal growth. And what is personal growth? Personal growth is pushing yourself beyond your, assigned boundaries. It's pushing yourself a little bit beyond what you're used to. So it's really a spiritual path in itself. And one of my colleagues, Jessica Abeg, she's another business coach. I've been telling everyone this quote that she told me a long time ago, is that building your business in this way that we're talking about, of stepping outside of your comfort zone and putting yourself out there, building your business in this way is personal growth with a paycheck. And it's that simple. The more you grow personally, the more you put yourself out there, work through fears, the less stuck you're going to be, the more traction you're going to get, the more forward movement you're going to get, which results in better income. And of course, you're going to have to shift your dial on your whole money psychology and be able to accept the money. But as long as you can do that, then personal growth with a paycheck. Pretty sweet, right?
Love it. That's great. David, you reminded me of a horrible memory from my childhood, so thank you for triggering that within me. When you were mentioning the public speaking issue that you overcame several years back, I couldn't remember the last time I had fear around public speaking, presenting in front of audiences. Just as a quick side note, I sang Prince's "When Doves Cry" in front of 2,000 people before, and I don't have a voice to sing. I have no right to be on stage and singing in front of anybody. But it was really funny. It was really joyful for my friends, and then at the end of it, I had hundreds of people yelling out Prince through the rest of the night that I was walking around this event. So, but I remember when I was a little kid, and you know how they like in elementary school, you always do those little performances where you get up on stage and the whole class is together singing some kind of song that's simple, and all the parents are in the audience and taking pictures and flash photography, and it's really like quite intimidating for a small child. But I remember having that feeling that you're talking about in the pit of my stomach, that queasiness, that nauseous feeling, like I was going to be sick. And I remember I was standing on the stage, and I had a bunch of kids surrounding me. It was super bright lights on us, and then the audience was pitch black except for a little bit of flashing here and there from the parents taking pictures of the proud moments of their kids. And I remember I got so dizzy and nauseous that I blacked out and fell off the stage. And then that was a good time because right around that is when the curtain was closing. And as the curtain was closing, two people ended up picking me up. I came to, and then as I was coming to, the teacher or the counselor at the time was walking by and said, "Is everything all right?" And I puked all over her skirt. Like it was some good projectile vomit right down her skirt, dripping everywhere. But that was my first and only experience of having fear and anxiety around public speaking.
Oh
So,
man.
yeah. So what is going on energetically when
Yeah.
people are having fear, when people are having anxiety? Well, to give a little bit of a background, pranic healing works with the 11 major chakras. So what is a chakra? A chakra is an energy center located in the body that spins clockwise and counterclockwise. So the word chakra comes from Sanskrit, which means spinning wheel. So what it does is it spins one way, pulls in energy, uses the energy, and then spins another way to spit that energy out. So it's constantly spinning clockwise and counterclockwise, pulling in prana, using it, expelling prana, using it. Just like we take food, we eat food, we digest it, we pull out the nutrients, whatever we don't need, we don't want, our body releases it. Same thing energetically. We pull in prana, our chakras use it to the best of their ability, and then it spits it out. In the world of fear and anxiety and stress, there's a chakra called the solar plexus chakra, which is located in the lower part of the sternum. So you have the hard part of your breastbone, right below the hard part where it starts to become soft. That's the insertion point for the solar plexus chakra. So people that have a lot of the negative emotions, and this goes back to mindset, when they have perception of something being bad, something being scary, something being traumatic, what that does is it activates the solar plexus chakra and fills it with stress energy that gets lodged in the solar plexus over time. So you do that week after week after week after week, month after month, year after year. Like energy attracts like energy. Your solar plexus chakra will begin pulling in more energies from surrounding environments and situations and people that keep that cycle going of stress. So you can say, well, how come one person can build their holistic practice or their entrepreneurial endeavors without any fear and anxiety and just keep pushing forward, and the other person can't even pick up the phone and make the one phone call? Well, it has to do with the solar plexus. The solar plexus pushes you through. When we said stuckness, when someone is stuck where they're at, that's a function of the solar plexus. The solar plexus pushes through obstacles. It pushes through resistance. It overcomes. It basically overcomes inertia. So if it's functioning properly, the solar plexus has a lot of ambition, drive, perseverance, ability to move through obstacles. But if it's dirty, if it's congested, if it's not functioning the way it should, it's going to have stress, anxiety, self-sabotage, self-doubt, worry, and it's not going anywhere. So from an energetic perspective, clean your solar plexus. How do I recommend that? Well, one way, very simple, that anybody can do is at the end of a stressful day, whether it's a stressful day at work, whether it's a stressful day with your kids, whether you just found out some horrible news, somebody passed away in your family, some country is getting bombed, whatever the case may be, this is what you can do. Go into your bathroom, fill up a warm bath, take 1 pound of table salt, not Epsom salt. Epsom salt has a different effect on the energy body. 1 pound of table salt, regular old-fashioned cheap table salt. It's like 50 cents. Use one of those circular cylinders, put it into the tub, the whole container. Obviously, not the container, but just the salt within the container, to clarify. And then use 12 drops of lavender oil in the tub, and then submerge your whole body in the tub for about 20 minutes. And what that will do is energetically disconnect you from unnecessary connections that are draining you. As well, it'll thoroughly and deeply clean the solar plexus chakra, the front solar plexus and the back solar plexus, which is in the mid-back. That alone will make you feel like $1 million. The other suggestion is get pranic healing. Another suggestion is do meditation. Practicing meditation on a regular basis will clean out your mental and emotional bodies. And the cleaner that solar plexus is, you can push through obstacles. The reason I was having a problem building my holistic business and serving a lot of people was because of my solar plexus, because I got stuck and I couldn't move forward. So those are some tips on that core point of, you have a gift to share, I'm stuck, what do I do?
All right, cool. Cool. Thank you, Christian. I love these internal tips. The second piece that I want to talk about, this might be you as well. You have a gift to share, but you're unwilling to accept full payment for it. Everyone, a lot of healers get really uncomfortable around money, and they have a lot of trouble accepting a lot of money. They wanna constantly downplay what they do, and of course that makes sense because they're a caregiver. They are a healer, and they want to just give, 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 and that makes perfect sense. But in our society, value is based on money. Unfortunately, if maybe fortunately or unfortunately, either way, but that's just the truth of it. So, you need to see that people perceive you and your value based on how much you charge and how much you ask for. And their results are going to correlate with that. So here's an example that I always use. I always tell my clients this when I'm giving talks, is when you go into an electronics store and you look at two flat screen TVs, one is $3,000, the other one is $1,000. Which one do you think is better? Of course.
$1,000. No, 3,000. No,
of course. It's automatic. Automatic. Okay, that one's got to be better. It costs more. So, in other businesses, people get this. People get that the more valuable you are, the more you should be charging. But holistic business owners, healers, they're not really getting this. Some of the big people are getting this, like Whole Foods and things like that, whole paycheck, they're getting it. And they're doing very well. People are swarming to these places. So obviously, it's not about how much you charge for how many clients you can see. Another thing is, people tend to be playing small. A lot of healers are playing small and not putting themselves out there because they don't have that internal value. They don't feel like they're worth what they offer. They don't feel like they're worth accepting a certain amount of money. But when you do that, all you're doing is denying so many people out in the world that need your help and that could use your help. So by charging less, you're going to attract less business. I'm going to debunk that first myth. You're going to have less business if you charge less, not more. If you charge more, you're going to have more business. So if you do that, then you'll be able to help more people. As a healer, that's all you want to do, right? Is be able to help more people. So how can you shift out of this mentality of scarcity and poverty mentality that you're not good enough, and shift into an abundance mentality, prosperity consciousness, and feel like what you have to offer is very valuable, and that you demand a high price for your services? Well, here's one way, and it's a practice of gratitude. So opening up to everything that is in the world, everything that you have, everything that the world has to offer. And it could be a meditation, it could be journal writing, it could be whatever works for you. It could be going on a walk. These things are all very personal. For myself, I really I enjoy yoga and sitting meditation, but also journaling and things like that, and of course walking in nature. But whenever you're doing any of these things, is just open up all five senses. Open up your sight, your hearing, your taste, even what you're feeling, all of these things, and just notice how abundant this world is. It's the nature of reality, is abundance. If you look at the earth and you just look outside your window, what's happening? I mean, things are always moving, there's always new things happening. It's basically it's an abundant playland. And by us shutting down and not tapping into that, we're actually going against reality. We're actually creating, based on our ego, we're creating a box for ourselves, a very comfortable box that is, and we're always trying to make it the same so it doesn't get shaken up, and it can, feed our ego to feel safe. And then also the problem with that is that it is constricting. When you build, this cocoon around you or this box, then you're not going to be growing. So think about the analogy of a caterpillar going to cocoon, coming out of the cocoon and going to a butterfly. There's all this transformation, and they are changing into a whole new being and breaking through that cocoon. So that's possible for all of us, every one of us, at every moment. So another good tool for this is, you'll notice whenever you get constricted or are feeling small, or this scarcity mentality, like there's not enough for you, there's not enough, and just feeling like poor, whether it's mentally or physically, in real life, I want you to just tap into your breath. The breath will be constricted if your mind is constricted. So just taking a deep breath and opening up, taking a deep breath all the way down into the diaphragm. Go ahead and do that right now. Just take a deep breath. That's just one breath. It took, what, a few seconds? Scientifically, neuroscientists have proven that a deep breath like that, and of course more than one is better, but it basically it allows you access to your higher level thinking. If you're breathing in short breaths, then you only have access to kind of the emotional brain, and you can get stuck in the fight or flight response. And a lot of people get stuck there based on past traumas, past limiting beliefs, patterns. So it's so easy to just, okay, whenever I notice limiting thoughts, just take a deep breath. What that does is it gives you access to another way of thinking. Once you have access to another way of thinking, then you have access to a whole toolbox of things, which I'm sure you've learned a million tools from reading books, self-help books, your practice, whatever your personal practices are. But a lot of times those are cut off, and we don't have the ability to access them when we can't breathe fully. So I have two books that I'm going to recommend. One is called The Trance of Scarcity. Talks a lot about this stuff. The other one is called Think and Grow Rich. A lot of people have heard of these books, but even that word, grow rich, might scare you. But I just want to recommend checking those out. They can really do wonders.
I remember Think and Grow Rich. I think I read that the first time when I was 15. Holy moly. One of the first, maybe the first personal development books I've ever read. Great book. Good recommendation, David. So it's interesting, the talk about prosperity and abundance. There's so much that can be said about it. There's been hundreds of books written about it for decades at this point. I think we're losing David to cleansing out the throat chakra. So Master Choa, in his brilliance of developing the system of pranic healing and Arhatic yoga, he realized as he was developing the system that a lot of spiritual practitioners, a lot of yogis were having a lot of financial problems. They weren't prosperous, and if you're not prosperous, one of his classic expressions was, it's hard to meditate on an empty stomach. Now, if that's one of your practices of not identifying with the body, I'm going to meditate on an empty stomach and not identify with the body, that's one thing. But in general, it's hard to meditate on an empty stomach, meaning be prosperous. Be prosperous, use your resources correctly, do not be overly materialistic, excessively materialistic, so when you bring in money and you bring in resources, use them to go on spiritual retreats, use them to go to places where you get spiritually fed, get massages, get energy healing, get coaching, eat high quality food, right? Those are very, very important things. So there's a class that Master Choa teaches within the world of pranic healing called Kriya Shakti, which is basically how to use energy to materialize your wishes, to materialize the things that you want. So I'm not qualified to teach that class, to bestow those energies over a 45-minute webinar, but I just want to give you a couple nuggets that I think will be beneficial to you. Number one is the law of giving and receiving, right? Whatever it is that you want in life, you have to first give it. You can't look at a fireplace and say, give me heat, without putting in the wood, right? You can't look at an empty field and say, hey, I want this field to give me some corn or some tomatoes or watermelons or cucumbers. You have to plant those seeds first, right? That being said, if you want money, you have to give money. You have to tithe. That's a huge heated debate for a lot of people, especially in the world of spirituality, because they're already tight enough with money. They're already tight enough with money as it is. So they're like, I'm already tight with money. How can I give? How can I extend? One nugget Master Choa says is one of the best medicines for sick finances is to tithe. So if you want money in your life, to grow your business, you have to tithe, and I'll just leave it at that. You can debate me all day long, you can debate the spiritual principle, but I've seen it time and time again in my life and the lives of other people that I've worked with, that when people give, they get back. Likewise, if you want love in your life, you have to be loving. If you want healing in your life, you have to heal others. If you want mental knowledge, if you want to be super, super smart, then you have to share knowledge with people. If you want to receive spiritual blessings and have deep, profound meditations in your life, you have to do that, right? You have to give spiritual knowledge to people. That's one of the reasons why I do what I do, because I'm about evolving my soul as quickly as possible. So therefore, I want to be able to help other people's souls evolve. So
can I hop in there real quick?
Get after it.
That idea of giving is so true. And that idea of paying for and investing in yourself is so true. Everyone that I see who is successful has invested in themselves for personal growth and in their business. And on another note, from that spiritual bent, I've been studying Buddhism for a long time, and one of the key components that they talk about in Buddhist philosophy is that generosity is what leads to wealth. And you can look at your current life and see what you've done in the past by looking at your present moment, and you'll be able to see your future based on what you do in the present moment. So if you're really constricted and you don't want to pay for anything, you don't want to pay for high quality things, then you're going to get, if you're going to pay for low quality things, you're going to get low quality out of it. And when you invest in high quality things for yourself, for your business, then you have results, high quality results. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice a little bit. I got a cold, I'm battling. But I've seen it time and time again. Everyone who's successful, most successful people hire, mentors, coaches, things like that, and they pay a lot of money, and they get 3 to 4 times return on investment for their money. But the people that are not successful, they're not investing in their business, they're not investing in themselves, and they're getting that return on investment. If you're investing nothing, you get nothing in return, right? If you're investing $5 for something, your return on investment, might be $5 or $10. So I just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah, beautiful. Likewise, the people that have come to me or come to other healers over the years that have a physical or emotional problem, and the healer says, oh, my rate is this. I charge $100 a session, okay? And the person has a problem paying that, and they say, hey, can we do $10 or $15 or $20 a session? They have the capacity to pay more, but there's doubt and all these other energies that are mixed in with it. And I've noticed, just my experience and a few close friends of mine who are very successful healers, the people who pay the least amount or hold back the most amount for their own healing takes the longest to get healed. But the people that say, hey, I really am dedicated fully, completely to my own healing and to moving my life forward, moving my business forward, either in coaching or in healing, those people who paid the big money, they are now karmically entitled. Bam. But it's up to the individual. All we can do is be conduits for those people. So to wrap up this point, all the chakras are at play all the time, but there's certain chakras that have certain qualities. So 2 chakras I just want to cover very quickly is the heart chakra, which is in between the nipples. It's in the center of the chest. It is the chakra that deals with compassion, mercy, tenderness, sweetness, and generosity, right? It is in the giving that we receive. So if you have a big, wide, open heart, right? Big, wide open heart, you are going to be, in general, more generous. And as you give more, you receive more. As you give more love, you get more love. As you give more service, you get more service. As you give more coaching, healing, therapies, you get that into your life, right? Number 2, the basic chakra, which is at the tailbone. It's the predominant chakra that deals with prosperity, also known as the chakra of self-preservation. So Donald Trump, Warren Buffett, George Soros, people that are super, super prosperous and very, very successful, their basic chakras are very, very developed, highly energized, and highly activated. A lot of spiritual practitioners were previous yogis in former lives, or nuns, or priests who made vows of poverty. And a vow is something that carries through from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. So previously they said, you know what, money is bad, money is dirty, money is evil, money will get me off my spiritual path. So that those vows need to be altered. They need to be changed. So the basic chakra primarily needs to be cleansed. It needs to be energized. It needs to be more activated so the person can be more prosperous. So anyone on this call, this webinar tonight, or anyone who listens to the webinar in the future who is having financial problems, the number 1 chakra that needs to be treated is the basic chakra. So lastly, spiritual practitioners need to work on being grounded. You can't spend your whole day meditating and being in the upper ethers of the inner world. You need to be grounded and rooted and connected to Mother Earth. That's what's going to make you practical. That's what's going to make you realistic. That is what's going to anchor your spiritual gift that you have to share with the world. But if you're not anchored and you're not grounded, well, how successful are you going to be?
Yeah, let me throw in one more thing on there with the money, just wrap up this whole money thing, is people tend to think that they're afraid of being successful because if they earn money and they're wealthy, then they're afraid of who they might become. Well, honestly, money only magnifies who you already are. So if you're afraid of who you already are, then maybe you have something to be afraid of. But if you like who you are already and you want to just share yourself more with the world, your gifts, think about how many more people you can help if you had more means, if you were more comfortable, if you felt secure financially, and you actually had money to donate to people and organizations that you love. So I just want to throw it out there. It's just a magnifier. If you're already a jerk, it's just going to make you more of a jerk. And if you're already a loving, beautiful human being, you're just going to be more of that. All right? So I just want to throw that in there. Real quick, I want to be really conscious of people's time. So we have one last point that we wanted to cover. It's basically what happens when you're overwhelmed and you're tired and you just, you're feeling like there's just too much. You're overwhelmed and you don't know how to take care of yourself. If you can't take care of yourself, then you're not going to have enough capacity to take care of others. So in this process of putting yourself out there, you need to remember to get out of the box, but then also bring yourself back in for healing. So along those lines, we've already talked about that. Making sure you have a strong daily practice, something that you come back to that, as Christian said, roots you into the earth, whether that's yoga, tai chi, walking, running, meditation, eating nutritious food, and a lot of us think we know what is nutritious, but I've been working with a lot of nutritionists lately, and I've been getting my mind blown about what's actually nutritious. So highly recommend checking out some of those folks. I have plenty of recommendations if you need them. uh, let me know. And just taking care of yourself, it's really, really important. Christian, you have anything to add in there on that?
Yeah, absolutely. This is one of my specialties, self-care. But primarily what I would say that would help a holistic practitioner from an energetic perspective is being clean energetically. So what that means is from the world that I come from in chronic healing, there's a meditation that we practice, fundamental meditations called meditation on twin hearts, that systematically opens up the heart center, the center of love, compassion, and mercy. It also opens up the crown center, the center for divine oneness with God, divine oneness with all. It's the entry point for spiritual energy. But doing this meditation is a blessing. It serves two purposes: to bless and heal Mother Earth and all sentient beings, as well as to bless and heal yourself. This meditation, doing it the simplest version, takes about 20 minutes to do, which I'm sure everybody and their mom can fit in at least once per day, whether it's in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening. But just doing this particular meditation once a day will systematically cleanse all of your chakras and energize all of your chakras, because it doesn't matter what you want to do in this world. Whether you're on this webinar to learn how to run a holistic business, grow a holistic business, get out of a holistic business and go into something else, it doesn't matter. Everything that you do in this world, health, relationships, wealth, requires energy. So the cleaner and stronger your energy is, the more effective you will be in every area of your life. Just like David was saying, you expand your boundaries, you expand outside of your comfort zone to reach new vistas, to have new experiences, to live an exciting life, as my teacher would say. And then you retract and go back into the inner world to do self-healing, self-care, taking salt baths like we talked about earlier, eating nutritious food like David was talking about, being in nature, getting fresh prana from the sun, from the air, from the ground, stimulating your body, because a lot of healers I know heal a lot of people, but they're killing themselves. They're wearing out themselves. They're burning the candles on both ends, and that stress that they're creating within their own systems and own bodies, they're now impregnating their clients with that stress. But think about it. If they were cleaner and stronger, how much better healers could they be? How much better parents could they be? How much better friends could they be? How much better instruments of divine healing and goodwill and the will to do good could they be? So my recommendation is take care of your energy body and take care of your physical body. Clean out the chakras, get them worked on regularly, and your life will greatly improve.
Nice. Awesome. So yeah, we're gonna we've covered a lot, and we have a lot more that we could talk about, but it's already been an hour. Can you believe that?
Woo!
That's crazy. And people don't get on a webinar and want to be on there all night. So we want to be really respectful of your time. So we're going to do a question and answer session in a little bit. So if you have any questions, type them in the comment box down below, and we'll get to those. We already have a few questions that people sent in beforehand, so we do have some things to talk about in the Q&A already, but those of you who are on here, type in your questions down below, and we will attack those questions.
Yeah, getting after them.
Yeah. So just like, as a recap, tonight we talked about, how you have a gift to share. You are a unique individual, and you need to get out there and share it with people if you want to do that. If you want to be successful, and you want to have a full practice, you want your business to be thriving, get out there and share it with people. Don't be afraid to promote yourself, because it's just your ego that's stopping you, saying that, oh, it's not good to do this. It's not good to promote myself. It's not good to be out there in a big way. I know it can be uncomfortable, but what is your reason for being on this planet? Think about it. If it's to help others, then get out there, please. The second thing that we talked about was talking about being able to accept money. You know, if you're going to be helping people, you need to be able to accept money with open arms. You need to be also generous. You need to be giving just as much. And that will open up that flow, the give and receive. It's a flow, and it has to be flowing for it to flow your way. It's really, the universe is just like a vacuum, and it fills everything wherever there's, a space. So open up yourself to, have some of that flow come into your life and give it to others. Thirdly, take care of yourself. Meditation, yoga, self-care, whatever you need to do. We gave quite a few tips around that this evening. So please, please, please take care of yourself.
Absolutely. You nailed it. Well said.
Yep. So basically, what it comes down to is that you have a choice. You can ignore this information and keep doing what you're doing, or you can get results and solve these problems that you have for good. So, we have a couple different ways that we can help you with that. Firstly, I'll throw out some things that I have to offer, and then Christian can throw out some ways that he can help.
Throw them out, David. Throw them out.
I'm going to throw them out there, right through the camera, right through the
computer. Oh, I think I felt that.
A friend and colleague of mine, David Hamilton, gave me a challenge to to offer 30 complimentary business strategy sessions, at least get them on the books within a 30-day period. And yeah, I know, and I'm about 2/3 to my goal. So people on this webinar, I wanted to open it up. I wanted to open up about 5 to 7 slots for people. If anyone wants to basically sit down with me on the phone, or if you're in Denver, we can sit down one-on-one, face-to-face, and really talk about your business. Where is it that you're getting blocked? What is your goals? What is your long-term goals? What are your short-term goals? And why are you not reaching those goals? Where are you getting blocked? And in this session, it's about 30 minutes to 45 minutes. You'll get clarity on what's stopping you, and you'll have a very clear path to move forward with your business. It's about a $97 value, and I'm offering it for as a complimentary gift to everyone on this webinar. Another thing that I have to offer, it's a little bit out there. It's about but wait, there's more. It's about 2 weeks out, but it's 2 weeks exactly from tomorrow. But I'm going to be offering another webinar, and it's called Build Your Referral Machine. It's basically how to suck clients in. It's going to be all the strategies that you can think of. So basically, just stay tuned for that. Both of these things, I'll be emailing you information. I'll post the links on the Facebook, on the YouTube, all that stuff. So basically, I'm just giving this stuff to you, but I don't work with people who are wishy-washy. So I'm just putting that out there. If you're not serious, please do not take me up on this offer. It's not for you if you're not willing to step out of your box a little bit, your comfort zone. If you're not willing to do what it takes to be successful, because those are not the people that are successful when I work with them. I really, I set up this boundary for a reason, and I encourage all of you to do the same. Who is your ideal client? Make a list of all of the things that you want in your clients, and literally, when you talk to people about, the work that you do, tell them that this is what you're looking for, So for myself, I'm looking for people who don't blame the system, don't blame others. They take personal responsibility. They're coachable. They're willing to learn. They're willing to try new things. Those are the people that I love to work with, and if you are one of those people, then please, when you get that link, I'll send it after the webinar. Go ahead and sign up for a complimentary session with me.
Beautiful, David.
Yeah.
So anyone who doesn't want to work with David because they're not committed, I'll work with you. I want to work with the non-committed, the flaky, the people that like to complain a lot. Those are my people. I love it. I love it. Bring it on. I was talking to David the other day, like what to offer, like what little special could I provide. So in a nutshell, what I do is pranic healing. I do a little bit of coaching, very little bit of coaching, because my coaching is super expensive, and I do that purposely because the type of coaching I do requires a long time commitment in order to get that. But in the world of energy healing, I've been doing pranic healing professionally for 10 years, and I would say the promo that I would offer is every person on this call, anyone you would even refer me to, gets a 30-minute complimentary session for stress. Why do I offer a 30-minute complimentary session? People know about acupuncture. They know about chiropractic. They know about, what else? They know about Reiki, reflexology, but very few people know what pranic healing is. So because of that, my responsibility as a student of Master Cho, as I see it, is to spread pranic healing and Arhatic yoga. So that's why I give 30-minute complimentary sessions. The majority of the people who work with me, who get that 30-minute complimentary session, end up either doing one-on-one sessions with me, or they do a package deal. Now, some of you on this webinar tonight might be saying, well, wait a minute, I don't live in Denver, so what's the point? Here's the beauty. Pranic healing is a no-touch healing modality. So I'm not touching your physical body during the session. I'm touching your energy body. My furthest client, who has worked with me for the past year, who has gotten phenomenal results, and I can give you her testimonial if you want it, is 7,764 miles away from me, right? So she opens up her computer laptop, I open up my computer laptop, we connect on Skype, and I do a protocol specific to her condition. So that's my first offer, is a 30-minute complimentary healing session for stress that we can either do face-to-face in Denver. I'm near downtown, so you would meet me at my home office, or we would do online. The second is, I charge $100 for a 45-minute session. I charge $450 for 5 sessions. So the special offer that I'm willing to do for the next 2 days, so for the next 48 hours, for people that are sitting on the fence, is I will do 5 sessions for $350 and throw in, an extra opportunity to do a meditation with me. So you would be at your house or your location, or you could come here if you're in Denver, and I would be on my computer, and we would actually do a meditation, because one of the biggest things I'm noticing with people is they want to know how to meditate, but they don't know what to do. So I've been teaching meditation to people for over 10 years. Not an expert, because there's always more that can be developed, but I am definitely able to help anyone learn how to start meditating. So that's my offer. 30-minute free healing for stress. Instead of paying $450, pay $350 for 5 healing sessions with me that we can schedule online or face-to-face in Denver. And you also get an opportunity for us to meditate together. And meditating in a group is always more powerful than meditating by yourself. So that's all I got.
Nice. I encourage everyone on here to take him up on that offer. That is huge. That is a huge value, and the dude knows what he's doing. I've experienced his work firsthand, and it really helped me a lot. So take him up on that for sure. All right. It is time for questions and answers. So, as I said, if you have any questions, go ahead and send them in. I do have a question that was given to me earlier that I'm going to start out with. Christian doesn't even know about this one yet. And the question is, since we geared this towards holistic business owners, healers, things like that, the question is, where are my clients at? Where do I find them? Where are my people? That's a question that a lot of people are asking, I'm sure, on a daily basis. They're just asking that over and over again, right? And maybe not really taking action on what is possible. So My first answer for that question, it's not a secret. Your client, wherever your clients are, it's not a secret. They're actually right in front of you all the time. Unless you're sitting inside playing small and just, cruising around on your computer, like Christian said, just putting stuff on the internet and waiting for emails, waiting for the phone to ring, and waiting for people to find you. Um, People, once you build up enough presence, you have a brand recognition, and you are your brand, then people will find you, and you have enough good content out there, people will find you and they'll seek you out.
Mm.
But that's not a strategy. That's not a business plan. That's not how you can fill your client base. You can't just be posting a few things on Facebook and waiting for people to, give you a call.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the good news? The good news is they're right outside your door. Just step outside, go to, any groups where people are meeting that are in your, people that are your people, or not even that. Go to coffee shops, go to a networking environment, which a lot of people think is horrible, but there's connectors in these groups. They want to literally, they want to help you out, and the one thing I can say is just come from a place of giving, come from a place of service. How can I help others?
Mm-hmm.
And if
Mm-hmm.
you are doing that on a regular basis, um, with some business systems in place, to kind of lead people to work with you, then people are everywhere. And as I said earlier, you're following kind of the way the world works. Like I said, when you look out the window and there's abundance everywhere, um, your clients are the same way. They're everywhere, and they're waiting for you. A lot of times, they're waiting for you to find them. They're waiting for you to follow up with them. They're waiting for you to give them a call.
Mm-hmm.
So don't play small. Step out of the box and go get them.
Absolutely. And to add to that, another reason you might not be growing your business as quickly and as rapidly as you feel, or even starting your business, is maybe not because of other issues about self-worth or money problems or anything like that, but it could be that you suck at doing what you do, and you don't want that to be found out. You don't want to have your ego demolished and crushed by that. And so you play this mind game of, oh, one day, someday, when this happens, when that happens, then I'll make it happen. Forget that. Just get out there. If you're an energy healer, heal people. If you're a coach, coach people. If you're an acupuncturist, stick people with needles. Get after it. Do something. And then by the doing of something, you will experience like, oh wait a minute, my time management sucks. Oh, wait a minute, my marketing systems that aren't in place properly. Oh, wait a minute, I'm bad at following up. Oh, wait a minute, I'm really good at healing this kind of ailment, but really bad at healing these kinds of ailments. Oh, this is where I can start course correcting. But if you're always in your head and you're always ruminating and you always have these grandiose ideas, that ain't cutting it. It's not going to get you anywhere, and it's not going to get the people who are relying on you for healing services anywhere. So, just throwing that out there to add to what you're saying, David.
Nice. Yeah. Huge. Huge.
There was another question that I heard. It has something to do with like I don't have it in front of me, but something to do with an example in my family. It reminded me. There's something going on with my family and my brother's marriage and all this other stuff. But the point I'm trying to make is not on a business, but more on a personal level, is that they're miserable in their marriage. They're miserable in their lives, but they're stuck in that comfort zone. And neither one of them are willing to be honest with themselves to move out. And the point I'm saying is life is too short. You hear that cliche time and time and time again. But you know what? It is true, because Think about this. If you're 40 now, what happened to your 30s? If you're 30 now, what happened to your 20s? If you're 50, what happened to the first 25 years of your life? Gone, right? And what did you do with it? Some of you on this call or on this webinar or watching this webinar maybe did amazing things, and I applaud you and I congratulate you for that. Other people made excuses, made rationalizations and justifications why they're not moving their life forward. So get after it. If you're excited about something and you're interested in something and you want to pursue something, go for it. Now is the time. Not when all the lights on the road are green. There's going to be some red lights, some green lights, some green, red, whatever. But just keep moving forward. That goes back to the solar plexus, right? The solar plexus chakra. Overcome obstacles, move forward. So that's all I got for tonight. I'm super awesome and glad that everyone attended this webinar. I hope this touches many, many people's lives. We'll be sending out the link to you in an email. Send this to your friends, to your family members. Let them take advantage of the knowledge that hopefully we shared with you that you benefit. I'm super grateful to David because this is a man that lives in the space of healing, except for right now when his throat is super agitated and activated. But he's an amazing person. Definitely take him up on this opportunity for the 30-minute business coaching. Because what do you have to lose? You have nothing to lose. You only have to gain. So obviously, go for it. Take advantage of it. I wish everyone tremendous success, tremendous blessings on all levels without exception. And back to you, David.
All right, I'm gonna. I'm trying to talk. Actually, losing my voice as we speak.
Oh.
So, thank you to everyone for being here, and we will send you more info. Get out there. Don't regret anything when you're on your deathbed, as Christian said. The only thing people regret is the things they did not do. So, get out there, make it happen, and we'll talk soon.
And lastly, if you're not getting out and making it happen, that's why you need to talk with David, and that's why you need to talk with me. Period. We love you guys. Many blessings, David. I'll work on you distantly.
All right.
In the throat. Peace out, guys. Namaste.
Thanks. Have a great night.